vinyl community and all others. This is Chris. I'm here to do a video prompted by Hedley. So let me assure you, this is not another fat bearded man talking about records or the Hedley clone. But he recently did a video on some recent acquisitions he had, and they were focused on the Flying Fish label. So I thought I would show Flying Fish records or albums in support of what Hedley had done, and I'll try to leave a link to his so you can watch the original rather than my follow-up. And he'd mentioned small labels like Flying Fish, and they were eventually they were absorbed into Rounder Records. And he mentioned other small labels, not by name, but some other ones, you know, for future consideration might be High Tone or Ridge Runner or Shanachi, forget what that is. But anyway, before I get started on this, I just watched a video by Carm at Gorvo31. He reviewed the new Tangerine Dream album, Quantum Gate. So that was good, and the album sounded real good too. So if anyone wants to hear a snippet of that and see what Carm has to say, Gorvo31. So these Flying Fish albums, I'm going to show them in numerical order, but I might split them up by type of media, because at some point I ended up with a bunch of cassettes. So Hedley had said that he got all these Flying Fish albums, you know, new sealed versions from someplace real cheap. So that's probably the same deal with these cassettes, because otherwise I'd never heard of most of these artists, but I ended up with a handful of them, so some store must have had a discount bin and they included all these Flying Fish releases. So start off with, I don't have covers for several of these because I had a problem with water leakage, and it was the refrigerator, and it dripped down through the floor and right on top of this cassette case. So didn't realize it for a while until I finally opened it, and they'd been soaking in water, so most of the cassettes were salvaged. But Lorraine Doucet, Hawks and Herons, this is 1988, and this is release number 308 on Flying Fish. So this is kind of folky. Release 328, the Smith Sisters, Bluebird. This is more of a bluegrass-oriented album. And release 371, patent pending, Troubles and Trials. So more bluegrass related. And release 439, Linda Waterfall, Body English. This is towards the folky side. And the Flips, release 457 from 1987. What's in the bright pink box? So this is a vocal-oriented album. I don't remember if it's a cappella or with accompaniment, but the Flips. Maybe like the Bobs. Release 407. from 1986. Robin Williamson, Winter's Turning. So this is English folk or Celtic folk. Robin Williamson from the Incredible String Band. And last of the cassettes, Jack Smith and Rockabilly Planet. This is release number 510 from 1988. And this is, as the title implies, Rockabilly. And then release, 626. Robin Williamson and John Renbourn, Wheel of Fortune, 1993. So this is acoustic folk. John Renbourn on guitar, Robin Williamson, other instruments and vocals. And if you can hear anything in the background, there's a Jimmy Dale Gilmore concert from Germany 2001 that's playing. Alright, first the vinyl. This is release number 5 on Flying Fish label. Pat Burton. We've been waiting for this Pat Burton. And you can see the sticker there, Vassar Clements and John Hartman also, or at least on some of the tracks. This is 1974 Flying Fish. So, bluegrass oriented, folk oriented. More bluegrass. This is release number 27, Country Gazette. Out to Lunch. Same label. Number 36, Dillard, Hartford, and Dillard. And it's on a slightly different version of the Flying Fish label. This is 1977, so two of the Dillard brothers from the Dillards and then John Hartford. Glitter Grass from the Nashville Hollywood Strings. And Hedley was nice enough in his video to even lay this out for me by naming several of the people on the label, so I got a head start on preparing for this. So, Vassar Clements, The Bluegrass Sessions. This is from 1977, and this is release number 38. Again, orange-ish and white label. Newgrass Revival. Too Late to Turn Back Now. 1977 and release number 50. So a little bit different. They put out a gatefold. Newgrass Revival. Robin Williamson and his merry band, American Stonehenge. So more folk rather than bluegrass. This is issue number 62 from 1978. And then the Dillards by themselves. The Decade Waltz. This is release number 62. Another gatefold. Orange and white. And Peter Rowan, so more folk, bluegrass oriented. Medicine Trail. So release number, this is from 1980, release number 205. And the last two, John Hartford. I tried to limit this to just one release per artist, though Robin Williamson got on there with various iterations of bands he's been with. You and Me at Home, John Hartford. This is Flying Fish 228 from 1980. Another label variation, more of a custom one. John Hartford's spin on country bluegrass. And then Doc Watson and Merle, Pickin' the Blues. This is 1985. Release number 352 on an all red Flying Fish label. So, the Doc Watson version of Americana. So, that was my Flying Fish video in support of what Hedley had done. So, make sure you watch his at Another Fat Bearded Man Talking About Records. And thanks everyone. I might get around to doing a recent acquisition video if I'm energetic enough. See you later.